The original is here. The original. Sorry, I can't hit the notes for you guys today, but I'm a little under the weather. But we're here to discuss it. Eminent Sports Broadcasting here, and I'm your host, Classic. We got two big fights later on today. The date is April 30th, 2022, and you have two fights that are sure that on paper should deliver. We're not going to get into the undercards because we all know that both of these organizations deliver very underwhelming undercards. A lot of A side versus Z side type bouts. So we're not going to dwell on none of that crap. I have an issue. And one of the issues that I have is the constant drubbing in the ear from Sir Eddie Hearn and his new friend and bunk bed buddy, Jake Paul. They're both trying to drill it in your head that this is the bigger fight of the night. And I'm not here to debate whether or not the Amanda Serrano, the Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano fight, if it's the biggest fight in women's history. I'm not here to debate that. Is it the biggest fight? Because Katie Taylor has a country behind her? Is it the biggest fight because Jake Paul is involved and he seems to have a lot of the media buzz? I will admit, Jake Paul and Eddie Hearn together make a very, very, very formidable team in terms of attention grabbers. They're going to get the media, they're going to get the coverage. And by doing that, they're going to be able to blow a lot of smoke up your ass by telling you that their fight is so much bigger than the other fight on the other side. Well, in my opinion, it's not the bigger fight. It's a good fight, but why do we need to sell it as the bigger fight? I mean, you guys did have the date beforehand. You did have the venue beforehand. Bob Arum decided to just place his event on the same day. It's on the other side of on the other side of the country. The uh the Taylor and Serrano fight is being held in the Madison Square Garden, and the Valdez and Shakur Stevenson fight is being held at MGM Grand in Las Vegas. You got Shakur Stevenson coming into this bout 17-0 with 9 knockouts, age 24. Oscar Valdez coming into this bout 30 bouts with 23 knockouts, both undefeated, age 31. You got Katie Taylor coming into this bout with 20 and 0 record with 6 KOs, age 35. And Amanda Serrano 42 and 1 with 30 KOs. I'd have to double check that. She's at 33 years old. That's a lot of KOs, man. 30 KOs for a woman boxer? It's pretty good. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. I've had a couple of debates with a couple of my friends, and gun to your head, which fight are you gonna watch? I apologize, but I'm sorry if both events start at the same time. I'm watching the Valdez and Stevenson fight for unification in the junior lightweight division. Sorry. Does that make me sexist? Does it make Bob Arum sexist for making the comment that he made when he said people don't really care about women's boxing? That's his opinion. Sucks being the opinion of a promoter who promotes women boxing, but that's his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. Now, I will admit, Matchroom and MVP Promotions are doing a hell of a job in terms of promoting this fight. The shoulder programming and the media attention is pretty damn impressive. But with all that said, and with all that in bag, I'm still more excited to see Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. I give Shakur the slight edge in that fight. Sorry, not even the slight edge. Overwhelming edge in that fight. I think Shakur is a much talented fighter. He's a better boxer. Oscar Valdez is a decent fighter. So I'm very intrigued to see this fight. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. I've seen them both fight numerous times. It's a good fight. It's a good scrap. But I'll watch it after the fact. I know what I'm going to be locked into. Now the reason why I'm making this video is not to bash the two fights that are being held on the same day. The reason why I'm making this video is the constant behavior from Eddie Hearn and him trying to downgrade other promoters' events. I mean, just promote your event. If the proof is in the pudding, you will achieve success. I find it very hypocritical that he's constantly telling you that this fighter, that fighter is fighting a bum, or why is he fighting this fight? But he's constantly displaying a bunch of one-sided fights. Now, I've been a DAZN subscriber since the Joshua Povetkin fight. And I must say, there's a lot of A side versus Z side fights on the DAZN platform. There's a lot of fights from foreign fighters that, I mean, I'm doing my best to try to keep up and try to learn these fighters, and but a lot of them are subpar. Now Jake Paul's coming into the fray with his boisterous and his very canny personality, and the media's eating it up. And I kind of like Jake Paul. I like Jake Paul. But now he's coming in with the same type of vibe where he's saying that, yo, fuck that fight. Or that fight is a good fight, but this is the bigger fight. I mean, you're going to get a lot of the attention. You're going to get a lot of the buzz. So, but why are you guys the ones making sure that your fight is not being played the same time as their main event? They're not really concerned with what's going on the other side. They've put less money into the promotion for this fight because they feel like diehard boxing fans, they're going to tune into this fight. And I think what they're banking on is going to be correct. Now, on a worldwide scope of things, which one's going to draw the most attention? I'm not sure. Are we ever going to see numbers like that? How far does ESPN Plus stretch? I know DAZN is their main bread and butter is having a footprint in damn near every country. Will they release the numbers? Will ESPN release the numbers on the Shakur fight? I know we'll be able to see numbers on the TV side of things, What about the streaming side of things? What about the worldwide numbers? The only thing I know is that both fights are great fights. I'm going to enjoy watching both fights. But I do apologize, ladies. Your fight is not bigger than the fight that Top Rank is putting on ESPN. It's not a bigger fight. Now, it's my opinion. I might be wrong. What's the definition of bigger? Because the implications of this Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez fight has very important, very important positions for future fights. There's two other champions out there with belts that are going to need attending to. You'll be able to build a pretty good story. What fight are you going to build off of this Katie Taylor and Serrano fight? People are going to want to see Undisputed. And then they're selling it to you as well as number one pound for pound woman versus number two pound for pound woman. Really? So are we just forgetting about you know who? Are we really playing that game right now? Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, number one and two female fighters in the sport of boxing. So it's not Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields is not one or two. Where is she? Number three? I mean, how is Katie Taylor number one woman's fighter in the sport of boxing when she's looked vulnerable in some of her fights? I've never seen Clarissa Shields look vulnerable in any fight she's ever been a part of. She's always been dominant. But we know what that's about. We're not going to sit here and pretend like we don't know. Give me 1 second. Thank you for your patience. I had to clear my throat, man. Like I said, I'm under the weather. You know what I mean? Putting in some major work on the job, cleaning out a cooler. Got a little sick, but I'm fighting through it, man. Big fight weekend. The big fights don't take days off, man. So we can't take days off. We got to stay at it. Jake Paul and Mr. Eddie Hearn is betting $1 million on which one of their fighters is going to win. Jake Paul proposed a bet, and Eddie Hearn took it. Jake Paul is, of course, backing his fighter, Amanda Serrano, and Eddie Hearn is backing his fighter that he promotes in Katie Taylor. I mean, Katie Taylor has an amazing amateur background and things that she's accomplished. But in my opinion, Amanda Serrano, she's the goods. I mean, they're relatively the same age, 35 and 33. Amanda's been doing this for a long time, man. She's been putting in work. I would give the slight edge to Amanda Serrano. And can Eddie please do me a favor? If you're gonna be shooting down other people's events and you're gonna claim like you got the best thing being promoted on planet Earth, give us the goods, man. Put your fighters in some competitive fights. Too many mismatches. Top Rank, the same thing. The undercard you could just forget about pretty much all the time. The main event is what you come to see when it comes to their events. They're always showcasing some shit. How about you showcase some fucking good fights? Anyways, big fight later on today. We're gonna view it. We're gonna talk about it. I'm looking very much forward to it. I'm not trying to shoot down the women's event. I'm just a little perturbed about these guys always trying to make it seem like they're trying to sell it to you. And we all know the media, the reason why the media goes to these events versus the other event. They're looking at the coverage, they're looking at the viewership. You know what I mean? Eddie Hearn comes with the way he conducts his promotion, it comes with buzz, it comes with notoriety, it comes with lies, it comes with propaganda, it comes with a lot of mirroring. It seems like Jake Paul's involved in that same business. Promote your event, man. Let the product speak for itself. Put on great fights, do great business, and grow from there. For my money, Valdez, Stevenson. Watching that fight, I might check some of the undercard out. You know what I mean? The broadcast starts, I think, pretty early on that one, 7 o'clock. I don't know. Either way, maybe they're talking about that their time, where they're at. I mean, I don't remember if they said Eastern Standard Time. I think it actually starts at 10. Broadcast on our side. I don't know. Let's see. Either way, I'm tuning into the Shakur fight, analyzing it, scoring the fight. Then I'm going to try to double back and score the Serrano and Katie Taylor fight. Check out some of that on the card if I can, if it's even worth checking out. But I'm going to score that main event and try to chop it up with you guys tomorrow night. All right? Your host, Classic, signing off. Eminent Sports Broadcasting. And we'll be back. All right, y'all boys.